welcome to Rathods IAS Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of yesterday's and today's current affairs. That is 2nd and as well as 3rd February 2025 related current affairs that we are going to see today in this class. Okay, so actually yesterday's newspaper, that is Sunday's newspaper, is entirely with your budget, and we are going to see outline of the budget. And even from Rathods IAS Academy, we are also going to provide separate budget related videos soon, so that I am going to take the articles which are given in our newspaper regarding the budget, and I want to give you an overview about what is this budget and which are the 4 pillars where they focused and which schemes they set, everything. Okay, and apart from this, we are also going to see other important articles which are relevant from other subjects also in this class. So now let us see the first important topic, that is about our union budget highlights. Okay, so the keyword here is budget, and I want to give you an overview like how you have to see the budget. So normally every year our government will be keeping this budget and will be passed. Okay, and for passing of this budget, we have a separate session in our parliament that is called as budget session. So we will be having a session called as budget session. Normally starts in the month of February. It will goes on for like 3 to 4 months of time. Okay, based on the efficiency of that house. Okay, and next one is, it is present in our article 112 of Indian Constitution, but it is not given directly as word budget, but it is given as annual financial statement, AIS, instead of budget in your constitution. Okay, and here next one is, what does this budget includes? So budget includes 2 important things like government revenue, from where it is getting the revenue, and what is the expenditure part, like where they are spending. So this constitutes your budget. It is as simple as, like, for example, your father is doing some job and he is getting some salary to the house after working for 1 month. So and now your mother and your father will sit together and they will see like how they have to spend. And even if mother is doing some other works like tailoring, or like doing some household work or any other work, or running a boutique or anything, she will be also getting income, right? So they will be keeping their income together and they will be now starting about how they have to spend that money. That is called a simple budget. So that is seen in every household. Like for example, mother is getting like 4,000 rupees and father is getting like 10,000 rupees, totally 15,000 rupees you are getting. And how much amount they have to give for rent, and how much amount they have to give for current bill, water bill, and even education, savings, everything. So everything which comes under the simple budget, which every household have to make for sure, right? So in the same way, for our large country and for our most populous people in the world, so our central government is making the budget like from where they are getting revenue. For example, how much amount they will be getting from tax revenue, how much amount they will be getting from non-tax revenue, and how they are going to spend for capital expenditure or for revenue expenditure, how they are going to give the grants for other countries, so how much they are giving for or keeping aside for the salaried people, like the government officers who are working for the nation, so like that, and how much expense they have to give for defense, and how much budget they have to keep for Ministry of Education, for development of the country, and for the child department, or for so and so department. So this all comes under your union budget. Okay, and you have to see about budget speech. You have to see just budget speech. So in that budget speech, you will be having around 60 to 70 pages. So in this, they will be focusing on especially the areas where they are focusing on in this 1 year, where our government is focusing on. For example, which scheme they are focusing and which scheme they are decreasing allocations, everything. So this is from your economy point of view. And from your polity point of view, in parliamentary session. So it is one of the session, right? Budget session. So how the proceedings will happen? So who will address this session? Normally president will be addressing this session. So you have to see that. And next you have to see about what is the process. So how long this session goes on and what are the priorities of this session. So everything that you have to focus on from polity point of view. And now let us see this union budget this year. So this is the first page in your yesterday's newspaper. So here this article is saying that Union Budget 2025 to 2026 was presented by our Union Finance Minister in the Parliament. So every year our Finance Minister, that is Union Finance Minister, will be placed in this budget. And this year budget we have 4 engines of development. And the 4 areas you are focusing on, and you have to remember, first one is agriculture. So why agriculture? Agriculture is a primary economic activity in our country where more than 50% of people are employed in. So if government is focusing on this agriculture, obviously it will be focusing on 50% of population, right? So first one is they are focusing on agriculture. Second one is MSME industries, that is micro, small and medium enterprises. And third area where they are focusing on is investments. So there are number of articles which are coming in the newspaper that there is decreasing of private investments in our country. So whenever it is decreasing of investments, obviously it is having impact on economic development. So we need to now at least get some good investments. So where they are focusing on, that's third engine. And next one is boosting of our exports. So whenever government is improving the exports, obviously what happens, it will be helpful for getting of economic activities, improving of economic activities, encouraging of economic activities. So whenever economic activities are increasing, obviously there is increasing of employment generation, increasing of production, increasing of capacities of our company, and also increasing of getting of foreign exchange reserves. So for all these things we have to focus on exports. So because of this, our union government, it is very much clear that in this year we are focusing on 4 engines of our development. So what are they? First one is agriculture, second one is MSME, third one is investment, and fourth one is your exports. And now let us see in each and every area or every engine, so how they want to improve. Okay. So here in this union budget 2025 to 2026, the theme of this year is Sabka Vikas. That means growth. Vikas is nothing but growth. So here this year budget is focusing on stimulate balanced growth across all region. Across all region we want to improve growth. Okay. And here you have to know about Viksit Bharat. So actually our Prime Minister, our finance minister outlined that this year budget is based on our principles of Viksit Bharat. So Viksit Bharat 2047 is our target, right? So what is this Viksit Bharat 2047? To achieve the status of developed country. Okay, so what are the principles? You have to know that. The first one here is, I hope you can see this image. So first one is agriculture excellence. So actually we are focusing on improving of our agriculture. So whenever there is improving of agriculture, so farmers makes our country the food basket of the world. That means obviously we can increase our exports to the different countries. Export of what? Food items. And next one is you're focusing on women's economic participation. That means we have to increase female participation in the labor force. That means female labor force participation ratio should be increased. Okay, and the target here is 70% of women in economic activities. Okay, so here you can remember or recall the recent survey report. Recently, I think 3 to 4 days ago, we discussed one article that there is increasing of female participation in economic activities, especially in the rural areas, right? So now this year union budget is saying that we have to improve a women's participation in economy or economic activities, and target here is 70%. And next one is we are focusing on even skilled labor. So that to 100% of skilled labor. So whenever we are having skilled labor, obviously we can improve employment opportunities. One important problem in our country here is lack of skilled labor. So because of this, there is increasing of unemployment ratio. So here we need to focus on increasing of skilled labor. And next one is healthcare access. So here government is now targeting that we have to ensure very high quality services and affordable and comprehensive healthcare. So if you are getting very high health access or the healthcare, obviously we can move forward in the development. And next one is quality education. So here one of the important principles of this Viksit Bharat is to provide quality education. So whenever we are providing quality education, then only we can nurture lives of young children. Okay, that will be very helpful for shaping of our India future. Okay, so they are focusing on providing of access to the high quality health and as well as education for all. And next one is they are focusing on zero poverty. That means ensuring that no lives below poverty line. So here you have to know about this concept. What is this? BPL, below poverty line, and what is the criteria which is used by different organizations to define this BPL. Try to make a note of definition of BPL, guys. And now let us see about what are those four engines of union budget. So first of all, the first engine is, as I said, agriculture. So actually regarding this agriculture, so government came up with a scheme called as Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana. You have to remember this for sure, guys. Our budget came up with a scheme called as Prime Minister Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana. So around 100 low agriculture productivity districts they are focusing on. They are focusing on now 100 low agriculture productivity districts so that it will be benefiting 1.7 crore farmers. So what they are going to do in this scheme? So they want to enhance irrigation and as well as post-harvest storage facilities. They are focusing on two important things. First one is irrigation. Second one is post-harvest storage facilities. And next one here is they are also focusing on second scheme that is called as Rural Prosperity and Resilience Program. And that will be launched in the states to address agriculture underemployment. So even in many areas in agriculture also there is unemployment rates are increasing, and to improve unemployment, that means improving of employment opportunities and to decrease this unemployment rate, the government came up with this rural prosperity and resilience program. So under this program what they will do, so they will try to skill the farmers and try to increase investments in this agriculture, and even they are going to get some new technology in this area. And next one is Atmanirbharta in pulses. So actually under this Atmanirbharta in pulses, it is a 6-year scheme, and this 6 years mission they are focusing on tur dal, urad dal, masoor dal, because they are going to ensure climate resilient seeds. That means in whatever the climate it may be, so they are going to grow, and that to increasing of food production so that we can ensure food security, and as well as dal will provide protein security. So we are also going to ensure protein security for the people. Okay, and next one here is we are also having some central agencies like NAFED, NCCF. So they are prepared to procure these three pulses from farmers for next 4 years. Not only providing this climate resilient seeds, but even government is focusing on procurement of these three pulses as well. And next one is government is now going to enhance this Kisan credit card limit. So from 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs. Okay, so earlier the limit here is 3 lakhs, but it is increased to 5 lakhs. So that 7.7 crore farmers they are going to get benefited from this Kisan credit card scheme. And next one is we also come up with this national mission on high yield variety of seeds. That means when we get this high yield seeds, when we are having good research, right? So to strengthen research and to ensure availability of 100 plus high yielding variety seeds, and to increase pest resistant seed availability and as well as other things, yes, government came up with this mission on improving of high yield variety seeds. So what are the advantages of this using of high yield variety seeds? So they can be grown easily, and even we can increase productivity, and we can ensure growth for the farmers, income for the farmers, and even we can ensure food security of the country. And if you're producing more, obviously you can go for increasing of exports. So because of all these advantages, the government came up with this national mission on high yielding seeds. And next one is mission for cotton productivity. So here government came up with a 5-year initiative, and in this initiative they are promoting sustainable farming, and they are also going to increase extra long staple cotton production and improve the quality. So here cotton rate, which is mainly based on the length of this uh, staple, that means nothing but if you see the cotton will be getting like thread like small feather like things, right? So if that is long, then it will be getting a good cast, and that will be very useful for textile industry. So here they want to increase extra long staple cotton production, and even government want to increase its quality now. And now next one is Makhana board in Bihar. So actually you know about this Makhana. So it got GI tag recently, and it is helpful for many people in the Bihar actually. So if you go for taking of Makhana, it will be like 250 grams will be like more than 300 rupees for sure. Okay, so if you see here, whenever we are coming up with this kind of boards in that related area where we are growing this or where we are getting this product, that will be increasing of production there, and as well as processing, and even increasing of value addition of Makhana. And even government also came up with this comprehensive program for fruits and as well as vegetables, and they are focusing on especially increasing of effective supply chains, and even government is focusing on ensuring of better market prices. So not only availability of good is important in the market, but even the people who are selling that, whether they are getting good profits or not, and even the people who are buying, whether they are satisfied or not, whether they are getting that price for the reasonable or not. So all these things are mattering, right? So here we need to have even effective market prices for the farmers. And even government is focusing on fisheries development. So under this fisheries development, they came up with a new framework for sustainable fishing in Indian exclusive economic zone and as well as high seas. And especially now they are focusing on Andaman and Nicobar, Lakshadweep Islands as well, so that we can trap huge fisheries now. And next one is we are going to set up a urea plant in this Assam. So a new urea plant in the premises of this Brahmaputra Valley Fertilizer Corporation, and we are going to have around 12.7 lakh ton capacity. So that urea is very important component. Why? Because it is having nitrogen, potassium, and as well as phosphorus. So these are very important for the growth of the plants. Without this urea, we can't ensure the proper growth and development of plants. And it is very important even in agriculture sector. So whenever we are coming up with this kind of urea plants in Assam, that will be very helpful for increasing of our agriculture productivity as well. And next, let us see about our second engine. Second engine is nothing but MSMEs. MSME is nothing but micro, medium, and small enterprises. So actually, we came up with the first important change in this year budget is revising of the classification of MSMEs. Okay, so here if you see, what is the current? So micro enterprises investment should be around 1 crore, and now it had been increased to 2.5. That is 2.5 times of increasing of thing. And next one is in small, it is like 10 crores, now it had been increased to 25, and medium 50, it had been increased to 125 based on investment. And turnover earlier, how can we say it is a micro enterprise? Turnover per year is 5 crores, now it had been revised to 10 crores. And for small, 50 to 100, 250 to 500. So there is 2.5 times increase based on the investment, and 2 times increase in based on the turnover. It is also an important thing that you have to focus. And next one is micro enterprise credit cards. So for micro enterprise also government is providing credit cards. That means they can get some credit facilities from the banks. Okay, so what is a facility? So rupees 5 lakh credit facility for 10 lakh micro enterprises. So that will be helpful for improving of financial inclusion in our country, and as well as that will also increase economic participation of the people. So whenever there is increasing of economic participation, obviously we can address this problem of unemployment and boost the growth. And next one is the credit cover for MSMEs also had been increased from 5 crore rupees to 10 crore rupees. So because of this, now here my MSMEs, they can have more loan access so that they can increase their economic activities and create more employment and increase economic production, and obviously increasing of economic growth and development. And next one is they're also focusing on leather and footwear this time. So they want to generate around 22 lakh jobs and 4 lakh crore turnover and exports of around 1.1 lakh crore in this leather and footwear. So because you know that footwear is very important and even it is related to our prestige. So how many pairs of the footwear that you will be changing per year? So normally it will be like, we can't use a single footwear for an year, right? So I don't know whether you will be using or not, but I won't use. Normally I will be changing like once in every 3 to 4 months I will be changing my footwear. Okay, so that means there is a high chance of increasing of our production. So if government is focusing on this, obviously there will be increasing of production, increasing of exports. So that is the thing which mainly said here. And next one is toy sector development. And even government is focusing on improving of clusters and innovation based manufacturing on this global toy market. And next one here is government is also focusing on National Institute of Food Technology. So it is mainly established in Bihar and they are focusing on food processing and as well as skilling and even entrepreneurship in this area. And the government is also focusing on fund for startup. So especially government established an expanded scope for an additional contribution of 10,000 crore rupees. So we are going to even improve our focus on startup. So these are the important points that you have to remember regarding second engine called as MSME. Now let us see this third engine. Third engine is nothing but our investment. So let us see how government is improving investment in India. So first one is Urban Challenge Fund. So around 1 lakh crore is allotted to support cities as growth hubs. So whenever government is announcing such kind of cities as global or growth hubs, obviously it will be getting investments. For example, you can recall and remember about this gift city of Gujarat. Okay, like that here. Obviously, whenever government is creative and whenever it is redeveloping the cities and also water and sanitation, obviously it can attract more investment. And next one is government is also focusing on Jal Jeevan mission, and totally this year the outlay also had been enhanced or increased to 67,000 crore till 2028, and which is focusing on providing universal piped water coverage. And they are also focusing on enhanced funding for rural water projects. And this one is government is also focusing on maritime development fund. Especially government is focusing on shipbuilding. Government is focusing on ports. Government is focusing on logic infrastructure. So everything is very, very important for our development of the country. And next one is government is also focusing on expansion of IITs. So whenever expansion of IITs is happening, that will lead to increasing of technical education in our country, increasing of skilling in this youth. So we can address some global problems as well, and even we can address unemployment in our country. And next one is government is also providing PM research fellowship scholarship as well. So around 10,000 fellowships, they are getting advanced research in ITs, IITs and as well as ISCs. And even regarding cancer, a lot of problems that we are facing, so they don't have proper daycare centers. So government is focusing on daycare cancer centers. So daycare and cancer centers that will be set up in all district hospitals in next 3 years as well. Okay, so that cancer is one of the disease that will leads to huge debt burden of a family. So whenever we are having this daycare centers, then we can obviously focus on affording of affordable treatment for this cancer in our country. And next one is Bharatiya Bhasha Pustak scheme. So government came up with this digital Indian language books so that we can enhance our school and as well as higher education accessibility. And even government is focusing on nuclear energy mission as well. So government want to improve this nuclear energy production. So even from the last year onwards, government is saying that we are going to install more small modular nuclear reactors. So because of this, yes, of course we will be having lots of advantage of this small modular reactors. So the same thing which said in this year budget as well. And if you see, next one is Udan scheme, that is Uday Desh Aam Nagarik scheme. So under this, it is also called as regional connectivity scheme. So under this, government is trying to provide very affordable airfare services for the people, and we are going to improve around 120 new destinations. We are going to add further 120 new destinations under this scheme, so that the important aim of this scheme, it is to carry 4 crore passengers under this air services for the next 10 years. And even it will also support helipads and as well as small airports in hilly and as well as aspiration and some northeastern regions as well. And next one is government is also going to come up with a new airport, that is Greenfield Airport in Bihar. So this Greenfield airports, they will be developed in Bihar, and even they are going for expansion of Patna Airport and even Brownfield Airport at Bitna, that is in Patna. And even government came up with the extension of this Western Koshi Canal project as well. So here they are also going for a development of infrastructure projects. And even government is focusing on tourism for employment-led growth. So especially government is focusing on around 50 tourist destinations across the country, so that they will be coming up with partnership with the states through this challenge mode. And next one is fourth engine. So this fourth engine, it is focusing on export promotion. So how we are going for increasing of our exports? Let us see that thing. So first important point you have to remember is, yes, we are focusing on sector wise and ministry regarding targets. For example, we have different ministries like Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Industries, Ministry of MSME, we have Ministry of Women and Child Development, like that. We are focusing ministry wise and as well as sector wise, like primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector. So in that, which products we want to improve. So like that, if you are having a specific targets, it will be very easy for the government to reach the targets. And next one is Bharat Trade Net. So it is a unified platform which is facilitating international trade documentation and as well as financing solutions. So through that also we are improving our exports. And next one is we have national framework for GCC, that is Global Capacity Centers. So this policy incentives which are mainly focusing on outsourcing hubs in emerging tier 2 cities. And even we are focusing on warehousing facilities also. So whenever we are getting this warehouse and storage facilities, obviously it will be improving the shelf life of products like fruits and as well as vegetables, which are having normally less time. Okay. So in this way, our government is focusing on these 4 areas. Okay, now let us see here the important diagram, that is from where government is getting expenditure. So from income tax, government is getting 22% of revenue, and next one is from excise duties, it is getting 5%. From GST and other, it contributes around 18% of revenue, and from corporate tax they are getting 17%. From customs 4%, from non-debt capital receipt 1%, non-tax 9%, and borrowing and liabilities 24%. So in all these things, you may get a question like, arrange this areas where government is getting revenue in increasing order or decreasing order. So highest is borrowing and other liabilities, and very less is non-debt capital receipts. And from income tax, you are going to get more competitive of corporate tax. Okay. And next one is how they are spending this expenditure. So see here expenditure path. So highest expenditure is share on taxes and duties. And next one is for defense, you are spending 8%. For subsidies, 6%. For center sector scheme, 16%. For interest, we are paying 20% of our revenue. And for pensions, 4%. And centrally sponsored scheme, 8%. And finance commission, other transfers, 8%. So this is about our expenditure. Okay. So now let us see the next topic, that is Ekalavya schools. So there are many articles regarding the budget, but already I covered in that first portion only, so that I will be taking some other articles where you may get a factual based questions from now. Okay, now the title says Ekalavya schools, packages for scheme saturation, push up tribal efforts outlay. So this article is talking about Ekalavya schools. So Ekalavya schools are developed by the government, especially in tribal areas, so that this tribal people will be getting access to the education. So this article is important from GS paper 2, guys. So if you see about this Ekalavya model residential schools, it is a scheme for making model residential schools for tribes, especially they are focusing on scheduled tribes across India. So they had been started in the year 1997 to 1998. And this Ekalavya model residential school in Shinde, that is Nasik, has been planned by tribal ministry to give impetus to the quality education for nearby tribal areas. And they follow CBSE's curriculum, but not like state syllabus. And Ekalavya model residential schools, they are being developed to impart quality education to tribal students, and also they are focusing on not only academic education but even all-round personality development as well. And at present, there are 384 functional schools across the country which are established at par with Navodaya, and they are focusing on state-of-the-art facilities for preserving local art and even local culture, and also they are providing training in skill development also. So what are the objectives of this Ekalavya model schools? So first one is they are focusing on physical, mental and also socially relevant development of all students who are enrolled under this schools, and they are also focusing on empowering of students to change agents and beginnings in their school, in their homes, their villages, finally in the larger context. And even they are focusing on providing of educational support to make available for the standards 11th and as well as 12th also. And also they are focusing on especially reasonable remuneration to the staff, and also they are focusing on construction infrastructure so that they can provide not only education but even physical, environmental and culture needs of those students. And other important tribal schemes which are focusing on the children are tribe fed, and next one is digital transformation of tribal schools, and we have development of PVTGs, Pradhana Mantri Vandhan Yojana, and we have National Commission for Scheduled Tribes. So all these are the important things that you have to remember regarding this Ekalavya model residential schools. And now let us see next topic. It is about Jal Jeevan mission. Jal Jeevan mission extended till 2028 with enhanced outlay. So we are not going to see about the budgetary things here. Just we are going to see about what are the important facts regarding this. So if you see the important facts, the first one here is, so this scheme launched in year 2019. Okay, when this has been launched 2019, and it is focusing on supply of 55 liters of water per person per day, and especially they are focusing on rural areas, and they want to provide water through taps, that is functional household tap connections, and the target was like 2024, but it had been crossed. And actually we are focusing on especially providing water, and water is everyone priority, and that too providing of like very fresh water, that is very important for maintaining of sanitation in our country, and to decrease this communicable disease also we need pure water. Okay, and next one is this scheme comes under Jal Shakti Ministry, and the important aim of this scheme, it is to ensure functionality of existing water supply system, and they are focusing on even water quality management, and even they are going for testing of water before giving or releasing, and they are focusing on water conservation and even drinking water resource augmentation, drinking water supply, and also grey water management and reuse of this grey water. Grey water is nothing but domestic waste water, like after cleaning of bowls or after having bath, like that water, the water is wasted in the household, that comes under grey water. We are focusing on even grey water treatment. And what are the features of this Jal Jeevan mission? So here we are focusing on especially supply side management and as well as integrated demand at the local level. And we are focusing on creation of infrastructure and sustainability. Especially we are focusing on groundwater recharge and also management of household wastewater for reuse. Okay, so that is about this mission, and let us see the next article. Rising salinity levels threaten Puncha paddy cultivation in Alappuzha district. So this article is talking about salinity. Okay. So there are two important keywords, salinity, and one more important cultivation is Puncha cultivation. So when the salinity will be increased, so whenever we are going for unsustainable agricultural practices, that will lead to increasing of salinity. Salinity is nothing but the amount of salt which is present in the water, that is measured in parts per million. Okay, so we have a certain calculations for saying that is a saline water or like low saline water or fresh water. So that is based on salinity. We can divide this water into saline water or ocean water, and as well as fresh water or low saline water. So normally it is 35 parts per million. Okay, so here why there is increasing of salinity, especially in this Kerala. So actually Kerala is very much famous for backwaters. That is nothing but kayals. So in this waters also, these people, they will go for growing of plants or agriculture will be done in this region. That kind of cultivation is called as puncha cultivation. But whenever there is increasing of salinity, so why there is increasing of salinity? So if you see, Kerala is located here and we have Arabian Sea here, right? So in Arabian Sea, there is increasing of salinity. So why there is increasing of salinity? There is decreased freshwater outflow, right? So there is no, like if you see in the Bay of Bengal, we have very big rivers. They will be flowing into that and they will be joining this Bay of Bengal like Ganga River, Brahmaputra River, River Krishna, River Godavari, but there are very less number of rivers which will be flowing westwards and join this Arabian Sea. And we have the rivers like Narmada and as well as Tapi, like that. Okay, so there is decreasing of fresh water inflow into this Arabian Sea, and even whenever there is increased evaporation in this region also, that will lead to increasing of salinity. And even whenever there is increased climate or like global warming is also one important reason. So because of all these climate change, you're also seeing there is increasing of salinity. Because of increasing of salinity, that is affecting especially puncha paddy cultivation in this Alappuzha district of Kerala. So here we can connect this with the geography, with your agriculture, and with your environment and ecology. So now let us see some facts. So if you see some facts here, Kuttinad is the only region in India where farming practices below sea level. That means below the sea level also they will go for cultivation. That is called as puncha cultivation. So it is located on the backwaters and it was served as a waterway which are integral to the farming, and they will go for growing of paddy, bananas, yam and coconut in this region. And this practice of puncha cultivation is nothing but where land is reclaimed from the backwaters for the farming. So the backwaters they will go for growing, and they'll use some techniques like bunds, dikes to prevent flooding of the fields. Okay, and this method of cultivation makes optimal use of wetland ecosystem. Even we are using wetlands for the production of agriculture. So this is called as a sustainable agriculture practices. Okay, so these are the some things that you have to see. And from today's newspaper, I collected 3 to 4 articles, and mostly it is filled with budget. So I didn't took those articles. But if the articles which are important I took. So from here onwards, we are going to see our today's Hindu newspaper analysis. Okay, so your title says that Trump slaps 25% of tariff on imports from Canada, Mexico, additional 10% of duty for Chinese goods. So this article is talking about tariff. Tariff or nothing but duties. So here we have America. So from different countries it is getting the goods. Okay, that means imports. So on imports of USA, they impose a duty that is called as import duty. There is high import duty in USA that will be affecting the trade between USA and other countries. So it is one example of trade protectionism of USA. So USA wants to protect its own domestic industries. So to encourage them, it is providing more, it is levying more amount of tax on other countries' products. It is called as import duty, and they are imposing 25% of import duty on the products from where they are getting Canada and Mexico, and from Chinese goods they are imposing 35% of tax. Okay, now let us see this topic in detail. So US President Donald Trump implemented significant tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico and China. So here they are saying that what are the reasons they are giving? Like immigration, drug trafficking. So these are the major threats they are getting through this trade. So because of this, to show that they are highly focusing on national security, they are imposing this. So if you see some important details, you can understand that there is impact on trade relations. So introduction of these tariffs, which makes a significant shift in US trade policy, and potentially even whenever they are increasing the taxes or import duties on other countries, so with which they are having good relations, now these relations are going to be strained. Okay, US trade policy is now going to have impact on the relationship between US Canada relations, US Mexico relations and even US China relations. And next important point here is Trump is not only targeting economic aspects, but even he is giving reasons that immigration and even drug policies. So because of this, it is also going to have impact or change in the future agreements between these countries and this America. And this one here is Trump is giving the justification behind this tariff is International Emergency Economic Powers Act. So here according to this, write down somewhere, that is International Emergency Economic Powers Act in your US-India relations, or like some miscellaneous relations you can write. So under this International Emergency Economic Powers Act, which is suggesting a broader interpretation of national security that is going to encompass economic stability. And next one is, these are the similar arguments which are made by the Trump to protect their indigenous or domestic industry, that is called as economic protectionism. Okay, next one here is retaliatory measures. So the immediate response from Canada and Mexico, which underlines the interconnectedness of global trade. And even here Canada is going to plan to impose 25 tariffs on selected US goods also. That means there will be tit for tat escalation. So that will be obviously having impact on whom? Finally the consumer, right? Consumer business involved in the countries, so that there is an increased risk of trade wars between the countries. That is the thing which mainly said. And let us see the next article. It is about medical force on high alert on eve of Basant Panchami in Prayagraj. So yesterday we celebrate this Basant Panchami or Basant Panchami. So you have to know about the importance of this day because it is a part of our art and culture. So in art and culture we have to know about our festivals, right? So because of this it is very important from your history point of view. Okay, and now let us see here. Basant Panchami, it is a significant Hindu festival. Basant Panchami, it is a significant Hindu festival, and this festival which marks the arrival of spring. And it is celebrated with enthusiasm, devotion across India, and even it is particularly associated with goddess Saraswati. That is nothing but goddess of wisdom, music and as well as arts. The festival which falls on the fifth day of Hindu month, that is Magha, which is signaling the end of winter and as well as onset of vibrant spring season. So if you see about the significance of this Basant Panchami, we are celebrating this day as celebration of spring. So here this day which marks arrival of spring. That means this day which symbolizes a renewal, growth and vibrancy. So this festival, it is celebration of natural cycle of life and as well as nature's rejuvenation. So here in this season we can see the blossoming of flowers, especially mustard fields. They will turn yellow. So which mainly symbolizes the bright, cheerful season of the spring. Okay, this yellow color is also associated with spring. This yellow color is also associated with the spring, prosperity and as well as fertility. Okay, so here we are going to celebrate this day. And next one is worship of Goddess Saraswati. So this festival is dedicated to Goddess Saraswati. Okay, that is nothing but the goddess of knowledge, wisdom, arts and learning. So on this day, especially students and artists, scholars, they will worship her and also seek her blessings for success in their studies. Okay, and it's also considered as a very auspicious day to begin new educational pursuits. And next one is culture and artistic significance. So actually this day is also very important regarding arts and as well as education and even culture events like classical music performances, dance performances, art exhibitions, they will be organized. And next one is we will be also unite together people because of the festivals and communities. They will be celebrate this arriving of the spring and pay this homage to the goddess of knowledge on this day. And next one is new beginnings and prosperity. And this Vasant Panchami is considered as a day to start new ventures, particularly in this education, art like that. And next one here is it is also having seasonal and as well as agricultural relevance in agriculture societies. Okay, so this is about this topic and I hope you understood this. Now let us see the next topic. Okay, so this topic it is about our budget, but it is saying something about beyond tax cut. So actually in this union budget, so one important and clear message given by our government is so there is no paying of tax, that is income tax, if you are getting income of less than 12 lakhs. So it is one of the great news actually. Okay, now let us see here this article. Beyond tax cuts, a closer read of union budget. So here the union budget which is presented by our finance minister on February 1st addresses about significant macroeconomic challenges which are faced by India, including higher taxes and even unemployment, private investment and some extra vulnerabilities. So now let us see one by one clearly. So if you see our physical target changes, so the ambitious physical consolidation target is around 4.4 percentage of GDP by by financial 2026. Okay, so it is like very optimistic and even it is very realistic. So achieving this goal will necessitate not only tax buoyancy, but even we have to go for asset monetization. That means whatever the assets we are getting, so if you are not getting money from that, we can go for asset monetization. And next one is impact of tax cut on development funding. So here there is also revisions in our personal income tax rate. So which exempt incomes up to 12 lakh rupees. And even they are going to provide immediate relief for this middle class taxpayers. And especially because of this, it will result less than 1 lakh crore foregone revenue that could significantly limit the government's ability to finance essential development projects. So here this article is saying that yes, tax exemption given by the government. If tax exemption is given, then what happens? It will be having impact on our development activities. And next one here is manufacturing sector is underperforming. So India's manufacturing sector is accounting for 17% of our India's GDP. And now they are focusing on the growth here. And government came up with the schemes like production linked incentives, that is PLI schemes. They have shown certain success. But even one important problem we are facing is lack of concrete measures to enhance research and development. So because of this sector competitiveness will be getting affected. So for India to emerge as a global manufacturing powerhouse, so we have to address these underlying issues, and especially we have to focus on especially regulatory inefficiencies and infrastructure deficit. Whatever we have to focus on that. And even this budget which is focusing on agriculture support, this budget which focused on enhancing of agriculture productivity and as well as climate resilience. For example, government focused on increasing of this kisan credit card limits, and even there is also shift towards precision support for farmers, and these measures they need to be paired with even coming up with a comprehensive strategy so that we can go for systemic inefficiencies in our agriculture markets. And next one is government also said that we are going to invest in these MSMEs. So whenever we are going for supporting of this MSMEs, so it will be enhancing credit facilities and even revised classification. They are very good, but we have to take some measures such that we can go for broader regulatory measures and reforms, and next one is infrastructure improvements so that we can compete effectively in a global marketplace. And next one is long-term economic sustainability. So even we have to focus on overall economic strategy so that we can prioritize sustainable growth, and also we have to see whether the savings are declining or not, whether public investments are decreasing or not or increasing. So we have to keep an eye on that investment so that we can balance immediate fiscal measures, and as well as we can take some long term strategies so that we can ensure inclusive economic development and also resilience against external vulnerabilities. These are the some cautions which are made in this article. And let us see next article on live-in relationship in Uttarakhand. So recently one development which happened in Uttarakhand is implementation of UCC, that is Uniform Civil Code. So they are going to follow a single code for the civil matters like marriage, adoption, and as well as live-in relationship as well. Okay, so here this code which said that, so this code, yeah, 1 minute. Okay, I hope you can see. Uttarakhand government came up with UCC and had been passed in assembly in February 2024. And under this code, it is saying that registration of live-in relationship is very, very important for both commencement or having this relationship or breaking the relationship. They have to go for registration. Okay, this requirement which applies not only to residents of Uttarakhand but also who are residing elsewhere in India. For example, if you are from Uttarakhand, if you are living in any other state also, you have to register this. And these rules they came into effect from January 27, 2025 onwards. So here, because of this implementation now, we need extensive documentation requirements for registrations. Okay, so this is the thing which mainly said. So actually, whenever they are going for registrations, so the individuals who are living in this live-in relations, they have to register, means it will be the gross violation of right to privacy, which is coming under this Article 21 of our Indian Constitution. So that is the thing which mainly said here. So here this article which said about, yes, what is the future of this live-in relationship. So under this UCC, not only married or like divorced people, but even unmarried heterosexual couples who are entering into this live-in relationship are also coming under this. And we need to go for providing extensive document of registrations, for example their photographs they read, and income tax account number, that is a PAN number, and even Aadhaar linked phone number they need to get, and proof of residence or domicile within the state. So all these documents they have to submit. And if you are going for not registering, that means if there is any fail to register in live-in relationship within a month, it may result to both civil and as well as criminal penalties. Okay, upon conviction, a magistrate may also impose a jail term up to 3 months or fine up to 10,000 rupees or both. So here under this code, it is made compulsory for this live-in relationship, but it is affecting this right to privacy which comes under Article 21. And now again a case had been filed and we have to wait for the judgment. Okay, so these are the important things that appear in our today's newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. I hope you enjoyed this class. Thank you so much guys for watching, and do subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy, and don't forget to like and share this class.